Menopause is a word many people know. It marks a time when they can no longer have babies. This is a natural part of growing older for them. The body stops releasing eggs from the ovaries. Hormone levels also change in significant ways. This transition is a biological process, not an illness. For a long time we thought this was just a human thing. But nature, as always, has some surprises for us. We see life all around us in so many forms. Animals are born, they grow, and they reproduce. The main goal for many species is to pass on their genes. So, the idea of stopping reproduction early seems strange. Why would an animal stop having babies while still healthy? This question makes menopause in animals very interesting. It challenges our basic ideas about life and survival. It shows us there is more to learn about the animal world. Let's see what these surprising animals can teach us. In the vast animal kingdom, menopause is quite uncommon. Most female animals continue to reproduce throughout their lives. They might have fewer offspring as they get very old, or their babies might be less healthy in later years, but they do not usually have a clear end to fertility. They keep trying to have young ones until they die. This makes sense from a simple evolutionary view. The drive to pass on genes is very strong in nature, so stopping reproduction while still alive seems counterproductive. Think about a female lion or a female elephant. They will typically continue to have cubs or calves. They do this for as long as they are physically able. There is no distinct point where they stop ovulating permanently. Their reproductive systems slow down with age, yes, but a complete shutdown like human menopause is rare. This pattern is seen across many different animal groups. The general rule is, live long and reproduce much. This makes the animals that do experience menopause special. One of the most surprising groups to show menopause is whales. Not all whales, but certain species of toothed whales. Among them, orcas, also known as killer whales, are famous examples. Female orcas can live for many decades, up to 90 years, but they typically stop reproducing in their 30s or 40s. This means they can have a very long life after making babies. Sometimes this post-reproductive period lasts for decades. Another whale species known to experience menopause is the short-finned pilot whale. Much like orcas, female pilot whales also live long lives. They also stop reproducing well before they die. These large, dark-colored whales travel in family groups, or pods. The social structure of these whale pods is very important. Older females, who are no longer mothers themselves, play vital roles. They are not just old individuals, they are active members. Their presence seems to benefit the entire group. Think about these ocean grandmothers, wise and experienced. They know the best places to find food in different times. They remember migration routes that younger whales have not learned. This knowledge is incredibly valuable for the pod's survival. A post-reproductive female orca can lead her family. While whales like orcas are clear examples, they are not entirely alone. The list of animals confirmed to experience menopause is still short. However, research continues, and we are learning more. Humans, of course, are the most well-known species with menopause. Human women typically experience it around the age of 50. They can then live for many more decades without reproducing. This long post-reproductive phase is a key feature of human life. It has shaped our societies and family structures deeply. We share this trait with only a few other creatures. Beyond humans and some toothed whales, the evidence gets a bit less clear. Some studies suggest that a few other primate species might show signs. For example, some captive chimpanzees have shown reproductive decline. Their menstrual cycles might become irregular and eventually stop. However, it is not as distinct or as long a phase as in humans or whales. In the wild, chimpanzees often do not live long enough. They may not reach an age where menopause would fully manifest. So, it is harder to say if it's a common, evolved trait for them. More research in natural settings is needed for clarity. The study of our closest relatives is always revealing. The search for menopause in other animals is ongoing. The big question about menopause is always, why? Why would evolution favor stopping reproduction? Especially when an animal is still healthy and could potentially have more young. This seems to go against the basic drive to pass on genes directly. Most animals keep trying to reproduce until the very end. So there must be a strong advantage to stopping early. This advantage has to be big enough to make up for lost babies. Scientists have proposed several ideas to explain this. One important factor is the risk of reproduction at older ages. For many mammals, including humans and whales, childbirth is risky. As females get older, these risks can increase. The mother might be more likely to die during childbirth, or the offspring born to older mothers might be less healthy. They might have a lower chance of surviving to adulthood. If these risks become too high, it might be better to stop. It might be wiser to invest energy in existing offspring. This is called the mother hypothesis in part. It suggests menopause protects aging mothers from reproductive dangers. Another aspect is the competition between generations. One of the most compelling explanations for menopause is the grandmother hypothesis. This idea focuses on the benefits that older, non-reproducing females bring. They become like wise elders or grandmothers in their groups. They use their knowledge and experience to help their kin. This is especially clear in species like orcas. An older female orca who no longer has calves is not useless. Far from it, she becomes a vital leader and helper. She helps her children and grandchildren find food. She protects them from dangers she has learned to avoid. Her presence significantly increases their chances of survival. Think about the value of lived experience in a challenging world. A grandmother orca has seen many winters and summers. She knows where the fish gather when food is scarce. She remembers ancient migration routes that others have forgotten. This ecological knowledge is like a hidden treasure for her pod. When she leads the group, they are more successful in hunting. Her adult sons, in particular, benefit greatly from her presence. They have a much higher survival rate if their post-menopausal mother is alive. This shows a direct, measurable benefit of her long life. She is not just present, she is actively contributing. This grandmother effect is not just about finding food. The existence of menopause challenges a simple view of an animal's worth. Often an animal's value is measured by its ability to make babies. But species with menopause show us another way. They demonstrate that there is strength and purpose beyond reproduction. Older, non-reproducing females are not just waiting to die. They are active, contributing members of their communities. Their roles shift from being mothers to being something else. They might become leaders, caregivers, or repositories of knowledge. This transition shows a different kind of strength, a strength that comes from experience, wisdom, and social bonds. Consider the social fabric of a whale pod or a human family. The presence of older, experienced individuals can be very calming. They can act as social glue, helping to keep the group together. Their long-term relationships can buffer conflicts. They might mediate disputes between younger members. This helps to maintain harmony and cooperation within the group. A stable social environment is crucial for raising young successfully. So, the social skills of these elders are very valuable. They contribute to the overall well-being of everyone. This is a subtle but important benefit of their long lives. Menopause in the animal kingdom is a truly surprising phenomenon. It goes against what we often think is the main rule of nature, the rule that animals should reproduce for as long as they live. Yet, we find species like certain whales, and humans too, where females live long, active lives after they stop having babies. This is not a mistake or a flaw in their biology. Instead, it seems to be a clever evolutionary strategy, a different path to ensuring that their genes survive and prosper. It shows the amazing adaptability of life on Earth. Nature always has more than one way to solve a problem. The animals that experience menopause are special. They often live in complex social groups where cooperation is key. Older females, the grandmothers, play vital roles in these groups. They share their wisdom, leading their families to food. They help care for their grandchildren, increasing their survival. Their presence provides stability and knowledge for the entire community. These contributions are so valuable that they outweigh the loss of having a few more babies in their old age. This is the essence of the grandmother hypothesis. It is a beautiful example of how altruism can evolve. Could you name any animal that goes through a menopause? Comment below and subscribe.